Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is issue 2 of 1/6, the graphic novel. Stories by Alan Jenkins and Golan. Pencils and inks by Will Rosado, Karl, Moline, Donny, Hadiwidjaja. Sorry if I'm sure I mispronounced that. I apologize. Colors, Lee Loughridge. Lettering by Tom Orzechowski, Taylor Esposito, Jeff Powell, with the cover by Jamal Eagle. At least the main front cover. All right, so this is kind of taking us through a world of what would happen if the 1/6 insurrection was successful. Now, the first issue showed us a possible future of where things would have gone, and the second issue takes us to the past of how things got to where they are. This is really just kind of a timeline of the pre-election, the election, and the insurrection. Very well researched and laid out, I think, pretty clearly. It's good. Like, this is actually, I think, one of the clearest accountings of what happened leading up to the insurrection. And in that way, like, I think it's excellent. Like, I kind of want to see someone do a full graphic novel of everything leading up to the insurrection. Like a full, like, take the research from everything, from if you can get a hold of the committee or the 1/6 committee and whatever else is out there, and actually just put it together. I think it would actually be really, really helpful, and I think this does an excellent job of, like, really laying stuff out. And the reason I think it partially does an excellent job is that it uses, like, real quotes from the individuals, and it uses really key moments that I would actually almost call, like, don't want to say iconic, but, like, pop culture moments, if that makes sense. Like, they really stand out. So think, like, the Four Seasons press conference. Like, that's in here, and that's obviously a really key moment. And we all know about it. So, like, the key statements from that is laid out. We know the conversations that happened between President Trump, then President Trump, and, like, the Georgia secretary. So, like, the key statements from that are, like, laid out. So it takes, like, these very, like, well-known moments and shows off, like, what the lead up is with, a lot of personalities that we know as well. I think the only negative I would say at all is that there are scenes where, like, they're in the White House arguing. Like, we know Sidney Powell, we know Giuliani, but, like, a lot of the other people in there aren't quite as recognizable, and it doesn't do a good job of identifying who's who, and some of the art itself, beyond, like, the suits, the faces look very similar, except maybe different hair color. So that maybe is the only negatives, that you don't necessarily know exactly who's who all the time. So that gets maybe a little confusing. But generally it does, like, a really, really solid job of also, like, laying out who the players are and kind of why they're important. What I also think is really interesting is that this is told from the future of the past. Like, it builds off that first issue, and one of the characters is like, okay, let's recount how we got here. And what the issue does is actually blends fact and fiction. It has this narrative of the characters from that first issue and what they experience weaved through actual history. And it does a really interesting thing of mixing or identifying the fact, fiction, and speculation. And I kind of wish this was clearer in the front. It's in the back after you read the comic. I kind of wish it was initially in the front. It's the other knock I would have on it, because I think that would help a lot as well. But what it does is, like, if it's a really thick border, then it's fact. If it is speculation, there's, like, a cut at the corner. And then if it is fiction, then, like, the borders are, like, thin. We'll call it thin. I don't know. That's the best way of describing it. And I think that's actually a really cool distinction and really powerful way to use comics and visual media to like, play through this. It's smart. It's really, really smart, and I think done really well. As I said, I think the only thing negative is I wish that was at the beginning to kind of take us through things a bit easier. There's also a lot of information in the back, almost study guides and things to go check out. The artist is pretty good. I think the real life people are all kind of recognizable, which is great. So here we go. So, like, here's a perfect example. As you can see, the thick red borders are fact, and then you've got like this one here where the border's kind of cut off a little bit, and that's like speculation, something that could have happened. You know, it's cool like that. I think, you know, here's another one with like a lot of thick borders that show off things that happened. So yeah, like it's really, really cool. And then here you have this one. These 2 pages are all like thin borders, so obviously it's part of the story and not actual facts. So overall, like I'm really happy with this. I think it's really cool. It lays out the events of January 6th really well. And yeah, I'm kind of intrigued as to see where this series goes. Like, we've seen the future, now we've seen what's led up to that future, up to a point of the, you know, the history that we know. And I kind of want to see where it maybe takes the next step of you know, filling in the gaps in between. So yeah, this is intriguing. It's really, really interesting, especially since we're in another election year, and it's going to be a pretty key election year. I know it gets thrown around a lot, but it's fact. So yeah, you can go get your copy. You might be able to get this from comic shops, so at least try to get comic shops to get this. We got a link underneath this video. Put in your zip code to all the comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some links where you can purchase your own. It'll be affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage. By doing that, you'll support our site. So thank you. And just watching our videos, support us. So as always, thank you for that. If you're into comics, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.